The gym pulsed with noise, but beneath it, something darker stirred. A referee, respected for decades inside the cage, chose to mock outside of it. He singled out a boy from the streets, thin frame, torn sneakers, eyes sharpened by survival. "Show me what you've got," the ref barked, his voice echoing off sweat-stained walls. Fighters crowded close, phones raised high. Laughter rained down like blows, cruel and relentless. The referee laughed loudest, pointing at the boy as if he were a joke. "Paper arms," he jeered. "Those skinny-ass arms couldn't beat off a fucking fly." The air was thick with tension. The smell of iron and cologne clung heavy. Then it happened. One swing. One crack. The laughter collapsed into silence. Bodies froze. The referee hit the mat with a thud heavier than the silence itself. Where are you watching the video? Comment, and if you like the video, please subscribe and like the channel. The referee didn't move. His body lay still, a heap of pride and muscle that moments earlier had towered over the boy. The gym, moments ago alive with laughter, now choked on silence. Phones that had once recorded for amusement now captured something far heavier. Whispers spread like wildfire. "Is he out cold? Did the kid really?" Faces blurred in the harsh fluorescent lights, shifting in and out like ghosts. The air was thick, suffocating. Sweat dripped from the walls, mixing with a metallic tang of fear. The boy stood frozen. His fist still trembled from the strike, his chest rising and falling like a trapped animal's. For 17 years he had fought only to survive alleys, broken homes, and men twice his size. But never had a punch echoed this far. Then came the sound. Heavy footsteps. Authority. The gym door slammed open. 2 men in black coats entered, faces carved from stone. They didn't ask questions. They didn't check the referee's pulse. They went straight for the boy. "Come with us." The fighters who had been laughing moments ago suddenly turned away, pretending not to see. Phones disappeared into pockets. Loyalty dissolved into shadows. The boy resisted, his voice trembling. "He asked for it. You all saw it. He mocked me." A sharp slap cut him off. One of the men leaned in close, his breath sour with cigarettes. "Doesn't matter. You touched the wrong man." Dragged across the mats, the boy felt the weight of eyes burning holes into his back. Not one hand reached to help. Not one voice defended him. Betrayal stung sharper than the slap. Outside, the night smelled of rain and asphalt. The van waited, black windows reflecting only fear. They shoved him inside. The door slammed like a coffin. Inside the van, silence again. Only the hum of the engine and the boy's ragged breathing. He whispered to himself, barely audible. 17 years, and it ends like this? The ride stretched forever. Neon lights blurred through tinted glass. Each turn felt like a descent into something darker. Finally, the van stopped. A warehouse loomed, its windows broken, its walls scarred. Inside, the room reeked of oil and damp wood. A table sat in the center, papers spread across it, names scribbled, contracts unsigned. Promoters. Sponsors. Judges. Their faces half hidden in shadow, their eyes fixed on the boy. One man spoke, his voice calm but heavy. "You humiliated one of ours. Do you understand what that means?" The boy shook his head. He humiliated himself. Laughter rose, but it wasn't joy. It was the kind of laughter that preceded punishment. "Street kid thinks he's clever," another muttered. The man at the table leaned forward, his voice a whisper sharper than any shout. "You embarrassed us. You embarrassed the sport. And we don't forgive humiliation." The boy's fists clenched. His voice broke. "I didn't ask for this. He mocked me. He mocked all of you. And you laughed." The silence that followed was heavier than chains. Then, the man scribbled something on a paper, tossed it aside. "From this moment forward, you're nothing but a problem to be dealt with. A scapegoat. A warning." The boy's stomach turned. He had survived gangs, hunger, beatings, but this was different. This wasn't survival. This was a system, an empire, crushing him before he ever had a chance to fight back. Days blurred into nights. His name leaked across forums, news outlets, TV screens. Headlines twisted the truth. Street thug attacks veteran referee. Untrained kid assaults official in gym brawl. Nobody mentioned the laughter. Nobody mentioned the mockery. Nobody mentioned the slap. The kid became a villain overnight. Reporters hunted his family. Police circled his old neighborhood. Fighters distanced themselves. Coaches denied knowing him. The streets that once protected him now whispered his name with caution. But behind the headlines, something else stirred. Clips of the punch, grainy and shaky, spread online. Forums lit up. Some saw the arrogance of the referee, the cruelty in his laughter, the venom in his insults. He asked for it. The kid only defended himself. Look at that power, raw, untrained, real. A legend was being born in the shadows. Yet with every cheer online, the boy's reality grew darker. He was summoned, questioned, threatened. They wanted a confession, a tearful apology to restore the referee's honor. He refused. "I won't lie. He mocked me. He wanted it." For that, the punishments deepened. He was beaten, starved, shoved into corners where shadows whispered threats. Still, he endured. One night, a man approached him in the warehouse. Not a guard. Not a promoter. A stranger, his face half hidden. "You've got something they fear," the man said quietly. "That punch wasn't luck. It was power. Pure, raw power. They'll bury you if you let them. Or, you can fight." The boy's eyes narrowed. "Fight who?" The man smiled, but it wasn't warm. "Everyone." The words lingered like smoke. Fight everyone. Survive everyone. A destiny forged not by choice, but by force. And so, the boy realized, the punch that silenced laughter had also awakened monsters. The fight wasn't over. It had only just begun. The headlines didn't stop. They multiplied. Each one louder, crueler, designed to paint him as a monster. Street kid floors veteran referee. Untrained punk turns gym into crime scene. Violence without honor. The boy's face was everywhere. Posters. News tickers. Talk shows dissected him like a case file. His eyes, burning with defiance, were replayed in slow motion, frozen at the moment his fist connected. They called him feral. Dangerous. A thug who had no place in the world of professional fighting. The silence was heavy, broken only by the hum of cameras. Outside courthouses, reporters swarmed. Microphones stabbed forward like weapons. "Do you feel remorse? Did someone train you to do this? Are you part of a gang?" The boy never answered. His lips stayed sealed. Every word would only be twisted. Every sentence fed to an audience hungry for blood. Behind the scenes, darker conversations took place. Promoters sat in smoke-filled rooms, contracts scattered across tables. Their voices carried venom. "He embarrassed us all. Referees are threatening to walk. Sponsors are furious. If we don't bury this kid, we lose control." The boy wasn't in the room, but his fate was being decided without him. Deals were struck. Money exchanged hands. A narrative was built, brick by brick, lie by lie. And then, the offer came. A promoter in a crisp suit, smile as cold as glass, leaned across the table. "You want to prove yourself? Step into the cage. One fight. Redemption or destruction." The boy's fists clenched. His heart pounded. He had dreamed of fighting under lights, but not like this. Not as bait. Still, he asked, "Who's the opponent?" The promoter's grin widened. "A champion. Trained. Sponsored. Untouchable. You win. Maybe people forgive. You lose. You disappear." The trap was obvious. The fight was already rigged. The referee chosen. The judges paid. The sponsors demanded blood, and they wanted his. But what choice did he have? He whispered to himself, 17 years, can't end in silence. Training began, but it wasn't training, it was survival. No coach. No gym. Only back alleys and broken gloves. He ran through rain, fists pounding against brick walls until his knuckles bled. Shadows became sparring partners. His reflection in cracked mirrors mocked him, whispered doubts. "You'll never beat them. They'll bury you alive." Still, he pushed forward. Meanwhile, the promoters fueled the fire. Interviews painted him as reckless, untrained, a danger. The champion was cast as the savior, the man who would restore honor to the sport. Tickets sold fast. The world wanted blood. The night of the fight arrived. The arena pulsed with energy, thousands chanting, cameras flashing. But the cheers weren't for him. They were for his destruction. Faces appeared and disappeared like ghosts as he walked to the cage. Some spat. Some cursed. Some laughed. The air was thick with tension, heavy with hatred. Inside the cage, the champion waited. Muscles carved from stone, gloves taped tight, eyes cold. He smirked as the boy stepped in. "You don't belong here." The referee, yes, another from the same circle as the fallen one, glared at him. Already biased. Already waiting to end it at the first stumble. The bell rang. The silence was heavy, broken only by the thud of gloves, the scrape of feet on canvas. The champion advanced, precise, ruthless. Each strike rattled the boy's bones. Each punch echoed the whispers, "You'll never win." But the boy didn't fall. He refused. Every hit fueled his defiance. Every bruise a reminder of the streets, the hunger, the survival. Midway through the second round, blood streamed from his brow, blurring his vision. The crowd roared. Commentators called for a stoppage. The referee stepped close, ready to wave it off. But then, out of nowhere, the boy swung. Wild. Furious. A hook born not of training, but of raw survival. It landed. The champion staggered, eyes wide. The crowd gasped. The air froze. For a heartbeat, the impossible seemed within reach. But before the boy could follow through, the referee stepped in, too soon, too deliberate. "Stop. Stop the fight." The arena erupted. Confusion. Anger. The boy screamed, veins bulging. "He's not out. I had him." But it didn't matter. The decision was announced. The champion's hand raised. The boy's legacy smeared once more. Backstage, he collapsed against the wall. Rage and despair clawed inside him. Promoters shook hands, smiled for cameras, and cashed checks. Justice had never been part of the plan. In the shadows of the corridor, the same mysterious man appeared, the one who had whispered before. "They'll keep doing this until you break," he said softly. "But if you endure, if you survive every betrayal, you'll become more than a fighter. You'll become a storm they can't contain." The boy's fists clenched again. Blood dripped from his knuckles. His voice cracked, but his words carried fire. "Then let the storm begin."